Hi, and welcome to another video by Get It Done Home Repairs. Today's project is we're going to be replacing this light fixture with the existing. We're going to remove the existing light fixture and replace it with a new one. All right, so let me show you some of the tools you're going to need first, and then we're going to get up there and we're going to get this job done. We're going to need a couple of pair of pliers, possibly a cutting pliers, something to strip the wires down if we need to, possibly a set of needle nose, a Phillips head, a flathead screwdriver, and then we're going to need a non-contact voltage tester just to make sure that the power is off when we're working up there. Now I know that I turned the switch off inside the house and the power is off, so let's get up there and let's take this apart. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove the two screws that hold this fixture up in here. As you can see, it's pretty loose already, so we're going to be real careful when we take it down. Take this out. Next, we're going to take our light bulb out just so we have a little more room to work up here. We're going to unscrew this center nut right here. It's pretty loose up here already, so we'll see how that comes out. You want to be careful in case any rust or anything. You don't want to fall in your eyes. Now we'll just take this down. Okay, next thing we're going to do is we're going to come up underneath here and we're going to remove the old fixture, so we can see what's going on, why this box here is loose. Now we know the power supply is off in the house, but just to confirm that it's off, you'd use something called a non-contact voltage tester. And that's something like this. You'll see it in my Amazon store below the video. And if you were to touch a live wire, this would start beeping like crazy. But as you can see, there's no power in either one of these wires, so we're in good shape. We don't have to worry about getting a shock at all. Next, we're going to unscrew the wire nuts right here so we can remove the old fixture itself. We're going to screw these off counterclockwise. Same thing on the other one. Remember, when you put the back together, white goes to white and black goes to black. Okay, and now we'll just take our fixture, the old fixture, off, and we're going to remove this part of the bracket right here as well. This is just a regular flathead screwdriver here. As you can see, this box is loose in the top right here, which we're going to take care of before we put this back together. Now these screws that are coming out, we are going to dispose of these because they are rusty, of course, and the new bracket comes with new screws as well. And that is the old fixture, and it's down. Now we're going to find out why this box is loose in the ceiling here. I can see somebody put a screw in it already to hold it in place, which is not right. So let's see what we're going to do up here. Okay, so as you can see, the box now is nice and tight in there. What they sell in the big box stores is metal clips that you could slide up and top the soffit up in here, and you bend them around the box and it holds the box nice and tight, so you can see it's nice and tight. The other alternative would have been to change the box in the top here, which I didn't want to do, so we just use these clips here and it holds it nice and tight. Now I also told you I was not going to reuse any screws that came out of here, but in this case I have no choice because the screws that are in here are 632. The screws that were supplied to me are 832, and they will not screw in to this box here. So I did have to use the old screws, and I mounted the bracket up here. As you can see, I mounted the bracket into the box up here. I unscrewed the ground screw right here. Now this is a metal box, so we actually have our ground coming through the metal bracket on the side right here, and it grounds into this box. By us connecting the ground wire for the fixture, it then grounds the fixture itself. So it's very important that you put that ground wire back on there. All right, so that's what we did. Next, we're going to take our light fixture assembly, and we're going to take it and we're going to bring it up here. Now, before you put the light fixture assembly up, take note where the mounting screws are going to be, because if you put this back in there, as it was on the previous one I took off, it's difficult to get to. Just turn it this way here, and now the screw is here and the screw is there. It'll come out a lot easier in the future. All right, so now this is our wiring here. This wire, the copper colored wire, is our ground wire, which connects onto this strand, onto that green screw right there. All right, now these were already stripped back from the store, but if they weren't, you'd need to use a pair of wire strippers to strip them back, but they are stripped already, so we're in good shape. First thing we're going to do is connect our ground on. The ground is a Phillips head, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to put our ground screw on. Now when you rotate this to tighten it, you're tightening it in the counterclockwise position. So make sure when you put your wire and you loop it around there, that as you tighten the wire up, it pulls tighter. So you want to have it this way. You do not want to have the open strand facing around the other way, because it'll just pull it open. All right, so we're going to do that right now. We're going to take it and we're going to wrap it around that ground wire like this. Just like that. We'll take our screwdriver and we'll screw that screw tight, so that way the ground is now completed from the existing box. Now it's grounding into this light fixture, so you have no way of getting a shock from it. So now it's supported here. It's hanging by the ground wire. We don't have to worry about that too much. We're going to take the wire. We're going to just tuck it up out of our way right there. Next, we're going to take our white or black wire, whichever you prefer first, and we're going to take it. We're going to take it and put it on here just like this, and we're going to wrap it. I'll show you in just a second. Let me get it on there. We're going to wrap it around just like that. We're going to take the new wire nut that came supplied with the fixture, screw it on, and we're going to tighten that in a clockwise position. Screw it down as tight as you can by hand. Once you have it tight, take your two wires and give it a tug to make sure you have a good connection. I can't tell you how many times I've seen these wires not connected up there. They're laying in there, but they're not making a good contact, and that will cause your light to flicker. So make sure you pull them to make sure it's a tight contact. Next, we're going to take our black wire, and we're going to connect it to our black wire here. Remember, white to white, black to black. We're going to wrap it around. Let me get this on there and I'll show you in a second. We're going to wrap it around like that. We're going to grab our new wire nut that came with it, and we're going to screw that down again clockwise, as tight as you can possibly make it by hand. And once you have it tight, again, grab the wires and pull it to make sure that you have a tight, good connection in there, which we do. Now we're going to take these wires here and we're going to tuck them back up inside the box, right up inside here. It's not really that important, but we're going to get them up and out of the way so we don't have any issues. Just like that. And we're going to do the exact same thing on our white wire, just like that. We're going to push it up and out of the way. Okay, push them up, and that's it, they're out of the way. Next, we're going to take our new fixture. We're going to take note of where these are right here, and then we're going to take this and we're going to lift it up, and we're going to let the center bolt come right through just like that. All right, we're going to grab our wire nut or our cap that came with it, and we're going to screw it on by hand, and then we'll screw it down as tight as we can. Okay, next we're going to grab our fixture and we'll put the other part up. All right, so after we have this tightened up now, this nut is nice and tight. And if you need to make this longer or shorter, you could do that just by taking it down and just turning the threaded rod up or down as needed. All right, of course, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to screw our light bulbs in. Make sure you check what your maximum wattage is so you don't damage your fixture. All right, screwed in. And now before you put a cover on, let's turn it on and make sure it works. So as you can see, the lights work, which is a good thing because that would have been a very embarrassing video if it didn't work. All right, now we have our globe or the attachment that goes up on here like this. I will point this out to you. With this particular one, these lenses were not in there. You needed to put the lenses in before you put it back up on there. So that's what we did. We put them in here. We just set them in the position where they were, and we bent these little tabs over to hold the lenses in position. All right, so next we're going to take our cover, put it on here. We're going to line it up with those little pins that are sticking down, just like that. And now we'll screw the little brass cap on that they provided as well. Same thing on this side over here. A little brass cap is going to screw on here. And that's it. Our fixture is now done. All right, the most important thing, as I said in the beginning, is make sure your power supply is off. Once your power supply is off, you're good to go. All right, so this job is done and we're on to the next one. If you like this video and you want to see future videos, don't forget, hit the subscribe button down below. When you hit the subscribe button, highlight the bell, and you could pick personal preferences if you want to be notified of every upload or an occasional upload. Personal preference entirely up to you. That's it. This job is done and we're on to the next one. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.